Hey, they're amazing people. Ever felt that pang of doubt? That little voice inside whispering, are people truly kind? Or is it all just a show? We all crave genuine connection, right? But sometimes fear creeps in, fear being unseen, unheard, uncared for. That pain of feeling invisible. It's something we all understand, isn't it? And suspicion? Oh, that nagging feeling that makes you question every smile, every offer of help. Well, today's story dives deep into those very feelings. It's about a secret, a test, and an ending. Well, let's just say it will leave you speechless. Have you ever wondered what someone's true colors are when they think no one's watching? Before we unravel this incredible story together, take a moment and tell me in the comments below, where in the world are you watching from? It's always so heartwarming to see how far our stories reach. And hey, if you're as curious as I am to see how this unfolds, give that like button a little tap. It lets me know you're ready for this emotional roller coaster. Thank you, you wonderful souls. This story, it's especially for you. Now, picture this, a bustling little diner called the Cozy Corner. It's the kind of place where the coffee is always hot, and the smiles are usually warm. But behind the scenes, the owner, a kind-hearted man named Arthur, harbored a secret. He'd built this place from the ground up, pouring his heart and soul into every cup of coffee and every slice of pie. Lately, though, he'd been hearing whispers, little things that made his heart sink. Were his staff as genuine as they seemed? Or were some just putting on an act? The thought gnawed at him, a constant worry in the back of his mind. Driven by this unease, Arthur hatched a plan, a risky one, but one he felt he needed to carry out to know the truth. He decided to go undercover, not as a health inspector, not as a food critic, but as someone completely vulnerable, someone often overlooked, a homeless person. He wanted to see, with his own eyes, how his staff treated someone with nothing to offer. So, one chilly morning, before the diner doors even opened, Arthur, disguised in worn-out clothes and with carefully disheveled appearance, sat on a bench just outside the Cozy Corner. He clutched a tattered paper cup, his heart pounding with a mix of anxiety and anticipation. What would happen? Would they see him? Would they care? Let's dive in to see what unfolded that day. The first few hours were tough. People hurried past, their eyes often avoiding his gaze. The early morning rush of the diner began, and Arthur watched as his employees bustled inside, their usual cheerful greetings echoing through the glass. He felt a pang of loneliness, a stark contrast to the warmth he usually felt within those walls. Then, around mid-morning, a young waiter named Finn emerged from the diner. Finn was known for his infectious smile and his friendly banter with the regulars. Arthur watched, his breath held tight, as Finn walked down the street. Seemingly in the opposite direction, Arthur's heart sank a little. Maybe his fears were justified. But then Finn turned. He wasn't leaving. He was walking toward a nearby bakery. A few minutes later, he returned, not with a pastry for himself, but with a small, wrapped sandwich. He approached Arthur hesitantly, a kind smile gracing his lips. "Excuse me, sir," Finn said softly, kneeling beside him. I saw you sitting here, and I thought you might be hungry." Arthur, his voice raspy from disuse, managed a quiet, "Thank you." Finn handed him the sandwich. "It's just a tuna melt," he said, "but it's fresh. And here." He also placed a small bottle of water beside the cup. "It's going to be a warm day." A wave of emotion washed over Arthur. It wasn't just the food. It was a genuine concern in Finn's eyes. It was the way he knelt down, treating him with respect, not pity. Arthur mumbled his thanks again, his voice thick with emotion. Throughout the day, other employees came and went, but none acknowledged Arthur. He sat there, observing, feeling a growing sense of disappointment mixed with the warmth of Finn's unexpected kindness. As the afternoon wore on, the lunch rush subsided. A waitress named Willow, known for her efficiency and sometimes curt demeanor, came outside to sweep the small patio area. Arthur braced himself, expecting her to ignore him, maybe even ask him to move. But Willow stopped sweeping when she noticed him. She didn't say anything at first, just looked at him for a long moment. Then she went back inside. Arthur sighed, his suspicions resurfacing. A few minutes later, Willow reappeared, carrying a small, steaming bowl. She approached Arthur and offered it to him. "It's our soup of the day," she said quietly. "Chicken noodle. It's good for warming you up." Arthur looked at her, surprised. "Thank you," he said, his voice a little stronger this time. Willow simply nodded. Are you okay?" she asked, her voice softer than he'd ever heard it. Arthur just nodded again, unable to speak past a lump in his throat. He took the soup, the warmth spreading through him, not just physically, but emotionally too. As the day drew to a close, Arthur felt a mix of emotions swirling within him. The indifference of some of his staff had hurt, but the unexpected kindness of Finn and Willow had touched him deeply. He had come here seeking the truth, and he was certainly finding it, layer by layer. Just as he was starting to feel the chill of the evening air, another employee, a young busboy named Noah, came out. Noah was usually quiet, keeping to himself as he cleared tables. Arthur didn't expect him to even notice him, but Noah did. He walked over to Arthur and, without saying a word, placed a clean, folded blanket beside him. Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out a few crumpled dollar bills, pressing them into Arthur's hand. He gave Arthur a small, sad smile and then hurried back inside. Arthur stared at the blanket and the money, his eyes welling up. This quiet act of compassion from someone he barely knew. It was overwhelming. The next morning, Arthur returned to the diner, no longer in disguise. He walked in, and a hush fell over the room. Finn was the first to notice him, his eyes widening in surprise. "Arthur, is that you?" he asked, his voice full of confusion. Arthur smiled, a genuine, heartfelt smile. "Yes, Finn, it's me?" The other employees stared, their faces a mixture of shock and apprehension. Willow looked particularly pale. Arthur gathered them all together. He explained what he had done, why he had disguised himself. He spoke of his fears, his suspicions, and the heavy weight on his heart. He then looked directly at Finn. "Finn," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. "Your kindness yesterday, it meant more to me than you can imagine. You saw someone in need, and you acted without hesitation. Thank you." Finn blushed, looking down at his feet. "It was nothing, Arthur. Anyone would have done the same." Arthur then turned to Willow. "Willow," he said, "I admit I sometimes misjudged you. Your quiet act of bringing me that soup, it showed a depth of compassion I hadn't fully appreciated. Thank you." Willow looked up, her eyes shining. I just thought you looked cold," she mumbled. Finally, Arthur looked at Noah. "Noah," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "your silent gesture, the blanket, the money, it spoke volumes. You have a truly kind heart." Noah just shrugged shyly. Arthur then addressed all of them. "I came here looking for the truth," he said, "and I found it. I saw indifference, yes, and that hurt. But I also witnessed incredible kindness, genuine compassion from people I am proud to have as part of the Cozy Corner family." He paused, his gaze sweeping over their faces. "The whispers I heard, they were wrong. This place, it's filled with good people. And that's all thanks to you." There was a collective sigh of relief in the room. The tension that had been hanging in the air dissipated, replaced by a sense of shared understanding. But the story doesn't end there. Arthur, deeply moved by the experience, decided to make some changes. He established a kindness fund at the diner, where a portion of the profits would go toward helping local people in need. He put Finn, Willow, and Noah in charge of it, recognizing their inherent compassion. He also made sure to acknowledge and reward their kindness publicly, not just with words, but with opportunities for growth within the diner. He understood that true kindness deserved to be recognized and nurtured. The Cozy Corner became more than just a place to eat. It became a symbol of compassion in the community. People heard about the undercover owner and the kindness of his staff, and they flocked to the diner, not just for the good food, but for the warmth and genuine human connection they felt there. And Arthur, he learned a valuable lesson, that sometimes the greatest truths are revealed not in grand gestures, but in a quiet, everyday act of kindness. He realized that his initial suspicions had blinded him to the good that was right in front of him. So, what do you think of this incredible turn of events? Were you expecting that ending? It just goes to show you doesn't it? That even in the darkest of times, a little bit of kindness can shine through. It reminds us that beneath the surface, beyond our fears and suspicions, there's often more good in the world than we realize. Remember that feeling of wanting to be seen, heard, and cared for? Finn, Willow, and Noah showed that they understood that fundamental human desire. Their actions, simple as they were, had a profound impact. What's the kindest thing a stranger has ever done for you? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's spread some positivity and remind each other the good that exists all around us. And if this story touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up. It helps us share these important messages with more people. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for being a part of this amazing community. Until next time, remember to always choose kindness. You never know the impact it might have.